morning, good afternoon, good evening, and hopefully, wherever you are in the world, you're having a great night. It's been a while since I've been on, kind of on a hiatus. I've been um, doing some research and doing a little bit of studying, and there's a lot that we're going to talk about today. So get your tea, get your water, get whatever you have, get comfortable. Turn this down a little bit. It seems like it's loud to me. Get comfortable because I can't hear myself talk. Um, we have a lot to go over. Um, I want to say thank you to my subscribers. You know, thank you, new and old. Um, those that are abroad from the United States, if you are watching, thank you. I have Palo Santo here, and I'm going to ring my singing bowl. So if you have any earbuds, earpods, you on a PC, whatever you may be on, I ask that you turn the volume down. I ask that you like, subscribe, share this video. Um, it may get some people to think about the things that they're doing and the things that they're believing in. Um, yeah. So, that being said, I'm going to get started with the singing bowl. With the Palo Santo, I'm sorry. I hope wherever you are, that you're having a great day. There's so much to go over that I want to talk about in this subject. And it has you, will make you think about what you believe and what you see and what's being brought to you, what's being shown to you. Things are like that. It make you question. But I always say question everything. That don't smell like Palo Santo. It just smells like burned wood. I don't know. So here we go with the singing bowl, earbuds. If you're on a PC, whatever you may be on, you might want to turn the volume down. Here we go. So I'm the type of person I question everything. And I started watching these guys, and it's like maybe two people, two groups. One is literally from Israel, and the other one is, I believe, here in the United States, or he could be somewhere. I think he's in the United States. I'm not sure, but watch these two men, and I watch these other groups where there's three men that are speaking with each other, sometimes four. The first group, they speak about the Bible and how the translation of the Bible is wrong. Things that are being said, and how it's being said that the creator of the Bible is not the creator that everyone thinks it is. And then there's this thing about Elohim, which is plural. Then there's this thing about um, El Elyon, which is supposed to be the highest of the high, or what they call most high, or up above all. But this Elyon is really not the actual creator of the universes, of this world, of all worlds, of all beings. This being is not who is portrayed to be or who people think it is to be. From my understanding, is that there is a lot of beings that are portraying to be gods and they're really not gods. They're just extraterrestrials from other dimensions that are masquerading as gods. And like Billy Carson says that, these are people and they put on one leg, they put on pants just like we do, one leg at a time. That these beings are running around masquerading. And then Billy Carson speaks about how, an advanced race would come and they would, like, so far as the natives, you go there with gifts, you go there with trinkets, you go there with this, and they consider these people to be gods. Same thing as in when they were hominids or whatever you want to call them, the GG, well, the hominids, but then the GGs came from supposedly Mars, and they came here to this planet to mine for the gold. But these people were not slaves; they were literally architects and master builders and carpenters, and um, but these Igigis, or however you want to say it, warred with the Anunnaki, which these are the ones that um, they're called the Elohim. They're called the can't remember what the word it was. I was there on my subconscious, but then it just disappeared. Um, but these beings are supposedly um, the ones from up above that came from the heavens down to earth. Um, but these are the beings that's being spoken about in Ezekiel. And also, I heard also them being spoken about in Deuteronomy, and so far as killing women and children, killing men, killing the livestock, bringing back the spoils to these gods. It gets me to thinking, like, what is it all for? Is this just a game? Is it just something that is just like mind control? You're given the laws, and mind you, these laws are being written in the time of Moses. But the thing is Moses was speaking to these beings that are the Anunnaki, which is Enki and Enlil, Inanna, or whatever her name is. But she was the one that was supposedly had the first Adama, and Adama supposedly mean man, because she carried the child for 10 months as a term instead of 9 months. But their clock is different compared to ours. But these are the exact same beings that were in Babylon. Well, not Babylon, in the Tower of Babel. And they're the ones that confused the beings on this planet. But these are also the exact same beings that are written in the Greek text. And what I noticed yesterday as I was listening to these people when they were speaking, and it was these three guys that were speaking in the group, all I heard was pedophilia and, excuse my French, and please people don't take this offense to it, but homosexuality. And they were speaking about the Spartans and how the Spartans and how this was a normal thing to, in this particular aspect, that these men would spend months, years out warring, but they would wind up being with each other. But then I listened to this other group and they're talking about how these so-called gods of uh, uh, Greek mythology, that they would mourn for these male gods would mourn for the male, um, in their case, their counterpart or whatever, that they would mourn for these people, these other men that they would have relationships with. So I just kind of wonder where is this all going? I mean, what does this all mean? Why is this is in this manner? I don't have anything against anyone or whatever they do. You know, that's their business. As long as it doesn't involve me, I don't really care. But when you're told something your whole entire life, or you're shown something your whole entire life, and it turns out to be not what is being shown. So what do you believe? Because in the end part, it just like it's just a book. Because what I gathered is what's written in the book is really not what's written. What's written in the book is what's really not written in the Hebrew language. What's written, it's not written. It's not written. This is from what I'm gathering. It makes you question, why are you here? What's your purpose? Do you have a purpose on this planet? Because I kind of feel like if you don't have a purpose, and we're here for school, but we're here to learn, but if you don't have a purpose and you're taking up space, so what is the purpose of all of this? Are we really just chess pieces on a board to be moved? And then I was watching something about how Jesus was speaking to the disciples, and one disciple asked Jesus about John, which John written Revelations. And basically, it was saying that Jesus was saying that if I want to keep him alive, John alive, until I return, I can do so. All of these different things, it's just like really confusing. Nothing seems to make sense. What really makes sense to me is these beings masquerading as gods. I know we all put here for a purpose. And what I see the purpose is to create life. But once you stop creating life, then there's no more purpose for you. I just wonder, what is it all for? I question all the time, why am I here? What was being shown to me through source, spirit, whatever it may be? What was it all for? And I question about prophecy. The only prophecies that I see happening, it's been shown to me, it's been very adamant. And these beings, they specialize in, and these beings are the ones that's making this happen. But it's not only that. This planet that they come from, every 365,000 years, it goes out and comes back in. It circles around the sun. Well, one inevitable thing that I know to happen is this planet is so massive that it tugs on the earth, and it tugs on the sun, and it tugs on the moon as well. But this planet creates havoc on earth. This is the only thing that I'm certain about, that there will be an end to the world as we know it. That's the only thing I'm certain about. Because everything in the Bible is mistranslated. Everything. Just about. The only thing that's not mistranslated is going into towns, kill every woman, every man, every child, bring back the spoils to the so-called God. The sacrifices was only just for the food. They were just murdering and killing, bringing it back to these so-called gods. And these beings taught agriculture and war, divine and conquer. They taught them between divine and conquer, and also who sits at the head of the table, who's governor who's uh, who's a president, and who's all these other different people that are kings and queens, and they just taught everything wrong. Weapons, for one. That's the number one thing that I have a problem with, is this these beings teaching about weaponry. It's okay about planting and cropping and things of that nature, but when it comes to causing harm to other humans, causing destruction, causing to the point to where the planet gets to a point to where it's no more inhabitable. These things are wrong. Teaching men about killing each other, but also teaching women how to allure men in a serpent like way. Perfume, cologne, makeup, all of these things to entice in a serpent type way. Sorry I've been gone for so long, but just a lot of things been going through my mind. I've been listening to a lot of different people, and mainly people that are um, people that are speak Hebrew, and people that studied these archives and all these other things. These are people that I've been listening to and watching, and when you learn that there's a lot of mistranslations in the Bible, because I don't know if you know it, one complete sentence or one complete chapter, well, not chapter, um, when you start reading through it, you have one small section. It changes the meaning of the whole thing. I mean, one word can just change the whole meaning of that little small piece that you're reading. I don't know what you call it. Um, and a lot of people are blind to the fact that there's something wrong here. Something's not right. You can change the names, but you can't change the stories, because every continent has the same story but just a different name and a um, different drawing of these deities or these beings or these so-called gods, these fallen ones. So what is it all for? I just it's just hard to believe anything nowadays, especially something that was written 2,000 years ago. And all the teachings that supposedly Jesus were teaching was of Toph. Sorry, I'm doing it again. I just feel it wasn't enough. Maybe I got a bad one or something. I don't know. This one just smells like straight burning wood, not Palo Santo. I kind of wonder about my visions and dreams. What were they all about? Because a lot of them align me with Baal, Zeus, this so called Jesus. Aligns me with um, what is his name? Trying to remember his name, but aligns me with Ra. Aligns me with what is his name? Kronos. Dreams align me with Kronos. And a lot of these Greek gods, it talks about replenishing the earth with rain. Also, how Baal went into went to hell or whatever. I don't know. Supposedly he was killed, and then the sister resurrected him, and then the serpent was killed, and well, this Satan person was killed, and um, was grinded up and sprinkled all over the earth or whatever. I don't know. I'm talking about Baal and whomever the sister is that was supposedly in love with him, and all of this incest type of stuff. A lot of incesting going on in Egyptology and Greek and the Roman, and it's a lot of incest, and also in the Bible. Everything is about sex. Everything. because it was supposed to be sacred, and it's supposed to be almost like an aphrodisiac, you know, almost like a heavenly experience. But the thing is that some kind of way they lost their way along the way, and it starts to go men on men, women on women. And big time pedophilia. And then you know something really odd that I find out is that the Christmas tree is really supposed to be an obulus, obulus, or whatever you want to call it. A fowl is a male, thing. These pagan holidays, pagan gods, and really it's just the Anunnaki. It's just really Marduk and Lil and Inki and Anana. Ninharsag or whatever her name is, Ishtar, all these different people in the same group, the same exact group, the Anunnaki. Or one thing can say for sure that that planet is going to come by. That's the only thing I'm sure of. The rest of it I'm not sure about. It makes me doubt and wonder about my path and what I'm really here for. Because what I've been shown is there's a lot of different things. What does it all mean? I don't know. The only prophecy I can say that's real and for sure is 3.5 days of darkness. That is the only prophecy I can say that's for sure. And that there is going to come that time that these things are going to happen. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow. But some of you may not even be here when that time happens. I think it's an extraterrestrial agenda. True, there's good and evil, dark and light. Without darkness, there is no light. Yin and yang. I think it's just an extraterrestrial game. There is a creator, but it's not human. It doesn't have a gender. That's what really gets me. Is reading this Bible and then hear from someone from Egypt. I mean, well, over in that area, Israel, and then hearing that mistranslation of the Bible. That just throws everything out the window. And I'm not telling anybody what to believe, but I know that when you cannot, what I do know is that we are all spoken to in a way that we can all understand. And the only way that some of us can be spoken to is possibly through the Bible. For those of us that do read the Bible, for those that put their faith in the Bible, but I don't put my faith in the Bible. I put my faith in. I don't put my faith in any of those things. But what I'm saying is I don't just stick to the Bible. I jump around to old things, old texts, you know, Gnostic texts, Enoch, and all these other people. I go through all of this other stuff, and then there's Egyptology. I go through all of that, and this is what I do, you know, because the answer is just not in just one book. It's not in just one book. It's in multiple books. And if you just stick to the Bible, then you're a fool. And I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm not trying to make anything, but you got to reach outside the box. And reaching outside the box can really mess things up if you can't handle it. Your spirit will let you know if this is right for you, or if you feel that it is right. Now, when it comes to source, we're all governed with the laws within us. You're governed by somebody's law. Let's just put it like that. I'm governed by source law. Who you're governed by, I don't know. You could be governed by the Anunnaki. A lot of you run around believing that you are from the Anunnaki. A lot of you run around believing that you were created from the dirt of this earth. That's up to your belief and what you believe in. If you resonate with it, then you resonate with it. But I don't believe this. I know for sure I'm not from this planet. I know for sure I'm not made from the dirt of this earth. I'm not made from no clay, because I'm not created from the Anunnaki. I'm not created from the Elohim. Because with this group becomes nothing but pain and suffering, sorrow and hurt, death. Just look at a lot of wars between religions, because everybody's being governed, everybody's being Everybody's fighting for a reason, that a cause that they know not what they're fighting for. They don't know if it's true or not. They're just fighting for what? Why fight for something that you're not sure about and you don't know if it's true? The best thing you can do, and this is my opinion, is believe what's being shown to you. Believe what's being shown to you. And even then, question. I'm quite sure the more you question, the longer you question, the answer is going to come. I received a vision one night, and it looked like a license plate, but it was the numbers 1183. I didn't know what it meant, but I Googled it, and it said Baal. 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 Now, Baal, everybody made this being out to be an evil being. But when people don't understand something, they demonize it. And Baal is supposedly the equivalent to, um, they say it's Zeus, but I don't think it's Zeus. It's um, Zeus's, not Zeus's father. Well, yeah, Zeus's father. Because of his powers, that he's able to control lightning, storms. He's supposedly a god of rain, a god of fertility. And when you think about a god of fertility, um, you think about, what was his name again? Kronos. You think about Kronos, because when Kronos is, when his jewels were gone, removed, supposedly he bled on the earth, and that rain or blood is what watered the crops and made the things flourish. But also, someone made a tie-in to, and so far as the blood of Jesus and also the flesh of Jesus. They made the terminology of the same as in the blood of um, Kronos, and then the food that's grown from the Kronos' blood, the crops and harvests from the blood of Kronos. So I was watching this where they were comparing him to each other, so far as when it comes to the blood of Christ and the flesh. So what you talking about, grape juice and a cracker. But in that aspect, you look at it as being a ritual, because it's basically what it is, a ritual. So the agriculture about Kronos' genitals being removed by a sickle. This is also written in the Bible about the sharp sickle. cutting the vines because the grapes are ripe. Same thing, cutting the vines because the grapes are ripe. Kronos bleeds on the earth, sprinkles the rain all over, and spring begins. Things start to grow. Plants, fruits, vegetables, all these things start to grow on the earth. I'm hoping you can get the correlation of what I'm saying. So, this is the confusion for me. And I'm quite sure it's confusing for a lot of people, but the only thing I can believe in is what's being shown spiritually by the etheric world, by the third eye or first eye, if you want to call it that, and by clairaudio. It's the only thing I can believe in. I know I can believe in my dreams because in the etheric world, because at the point you're walking around on this earth, you are dead. But when you lie down to go to sleep, you're dead. But in the etheric world, you are alive. Because what can happen in the etheric world can happen into the physical 3D dimensional world that we're in today. I just wonder, what is it all for? Because it's extraterrestrial influenced, especially the Bible. 100% is extraterrestrial influenced. It's sexually influenced big time. And then being that people in different cultures, they're coming up with their drawings of different gods and stuff like that, and pedophilia and homosexuality um, and incest. What is it all for? Why are we really here? Is the question. What's your purpose? What's your purpose? That's the question. Are you a part of this alien agenda, believing that these extraterrestrials created you in their own image, which is the image of the Anunnaki? These fallen ones, the ones that took this world, these these ones that supposedly created Eve here on this earth. And there's a saying, as so above is so below. So you can best believe that there was Eve in heaven and they put an Eve here on earth. Everything is a copy. It's a duality. What's here on earth is what's up there in heaven. It's a duality. And if it's not in heaven, it's in some dimension. I was listening to something yesterday about this man was saying something about hell. I believe it's in a different dimension, but as so above is so below. You can create hell here on earth, and it could be created up above, or it can be created in the etheric world. I've just been doing a lot of listening and learning from different people and what they believe and what they've seen. Listening to a lot of people and what people are saying. There's only one thing I'm sure of. There is an end. When I say there's an end, I mean there is an end of life as we know it. And I don't mean as in destruction of this earth. I mean as in human life, an end of things happening, things being normal, and coming to a point of being pushed back into time, back into the Stone Age. But at that point, people will starve. There will be no drinkable water. There really won't be hardly anything. Buildings will be collapsed. I mean, it's just gonna be bad. It's what I saw was bad. Massive hurricanes, massive tornadoes, complete utter destruction. This is what I believe because this is what's been shown to me. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow. But if you know where you're going, you know what you believe in, you know what's been shown to you, and not believing in what's written in a book. Because a book is a book. A book can be fictional, or it can be telling truths. That's why we have a power of discernment. That's why we have intuition to know what's right and what's wrong. But for whoever is your creator, their laws are instilled in your DNA. Their laws are instilled in you, whomever you come from, whether they be good or evil. They have their laws. There's a point that some of us will not go past. And there's a point of some of us that don't have governs on us at all. we just running wild and rampant and taking lives just doesn't matter. So I can say you're not created from source, you're created from the fallen ones. And I was gonna do another video, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do another video. I'm gonna do it all right now on this one. Those that do not have a govern in your DNA what you will and will not do, or what's the laws that's been given, and the laws is within your DNA. Those that do not have a problem with taking someone's life, you are not governed by. You're you're governed by the Anunnaki because that's the spores of war. I was listening last night to the news to these. There was 5 cops, and there was some kind of violence or something like that. But this homeless man had 2 knives, and there were 5 cops. They told him to put the knives down, but he didn't put the knives down. I don't know what happened because I didn't see it. But from what I heard, I was in the bathroom when I heard it. And my best friend and a mutual friend of ours were going back and forth about how the cops shouldn't have. All 5 of them shot this man to death. These men are governed by the Anunnaki. These men are demons. Anytime someone does not have a problem with taking a life, you are of the adversary. You are of the demonic realm. Anyone I feel that they are working in a governmental facility, whether it be military, whether it be cops, whether it be task force, whatever it may be, you are working for Satan. Because I'm going to tell you, when you don't have a problem taking a life, you are a demonic being. And to me, it's an outrage. Because these men could have used less lethal. That's why they have beanbag shotguns. This is why they created less lethal. 20 feet away, someone having knives, they cannot reach you. So therefore, they are not a threat. They are not a, what is it called? They're not, they didn't have to use um, deadly force. Cops are trained to be 20 feet away because this is the distance of using a pistol is 20 feet. So I'm almost 100% for sure that these 5 cops were not up on him in a 6 feet to 4 feet range. These people were 20 feet away from this man. And at this point, they could have used less lethal because the man didn't have a gun, he had knives. These 5 cops, they're demons. Anyone that do not have a problem with taking a life, you are a demon. You are with the adversary. You are of Satan. And Satan is an energy, but you have no morals. You have no code. You have no govern. Because those that take lives don't have love in their heart. You are made from the Anunnaki. You were created from the Anunnaki. You were taught to divine and conquer. Your ancestors taught the Anunnaki taught your ancestors divine and conquer, destroy and kill. Take the spoils of men and bring them back to me. Take the women and children if you feel like it and do what you want to do with them. And if you decide to make them your wives, you make them your wives. This is what you were taught. You are not, and I mean every government official, you are not of the source because you have no government. You have no righteous laws in you. This is what they created less lethal for. If you have a problem using less lethal, then you are of the spawn of Satan. You are the spawn of the Anunnaki. You are the spawn. You're the spawn of Marduk. And if you don't know who Marduk is Amun-Ra. Marduk is not Ra, he's Amun-Ra. You're evil and rotten to the core. Anyone that can blink and take a life, you're the spawn of Satan. You have no love in your heart. I don't even think there's a heart there. A lump of coal. And trust me, you squeeze that coal, it's not going to be a diamond coming out. Nothing but dust. Black, vile dust. Like the dust that will be on 3.5 days of darkness, which would be alive, which would be blackness. I'm going to leave this here. I wanted to end that on that note because I really didn't want to do another video. I want to thank everyone for listening, watching, commenting. Thank my old subscribers and new subscribers. Thank you for those that's been there since the beginning and those that's just recently subscribed. Thank you. Pass this message on. It may help someone. I'm going to say again, like, subscribe, share. I kind of stopped saying that because I felt like, what's the point? If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. They subscribe, but please subscribe because it helps the channel and helps it grow. I'm not asking for much and it doesn't cost much. It doesn't cost anything, actually. It's free to do. You will know when the next time I upload a video. I don't know when the next time I'm going to be on because I'm still wrestling in my mind what I've just recently found out in the last couple of days. Kind of makes you wonder about the Bible when there's mistranslations. How they call, I'll just put it like this, how they call Mary a virgin, but in actuality, in Greek, it says young, it's really young woman or young female, but they turned it and call it a virgin. This is what I mean, mistranslation. In Hebrew, it's really young female or young woman, but the other version, they call it as a version. Actually, the other way, they call it a version instead of young woman. which is supposed to be Mary. But she's supposed to be a virgin, but having Jesus as a virgin. But in actual reality, it's a young woman. But I'm just trying to give you a little bit of what I mean about the translations are not right. But anyway, we're going to call it. Thank you guys for listening, tuning in. Till next time. And sister of the carrying race and lion race.